It's Wednesday, Albuquerque. You know what that means? That means Fred's back for the first time in like a week. What's up, boys? How is it going,
Welcome
my
back,
dudes?
Freddie Fame.
Thank you, brother. Doing well on the personal front. I will update everyone on that here within a moment. Doing well on the professional front. Duke City Championship Wrestling will host their first event Thursday, May the 25th at the historic El Rey Theater. Tickets available at dccwtickets.com. Go check that out. Come hang out with us. We got like 100 tickets sold, Van, already to the show. Kind of crazy, huh?
So what's capacity there?
600.
103?
600.
Oh,
600.
6? Let's go, baby. Fill it
we're
up.
We're well on our way, so walk up and do your thing. Come hang out with your boys. We will greatly appreciate you being here with us. Tyler Lovely back at the studio, making the show go around. Tyler, welcome to the broadcast, brother. Thank you, brother. I tell you what, it's I'll just say it right away. It has gone noticed to me the amount of support I have received from the friends of the show, as they're aware that I've been away helping my father. My father, currently battling a colon cancer, received his first chemotherapy this week, boys. So my father is well on their way in the direction he was given by medical professionals. And how very proud I am of he for doing the absolute right thing and following the path. And so we're a couple months away from hopefully success. So there you go, boys. We're almost there. We're started.
Let's go, baby.
Love everything about it. So if all goes well, I will be back in the Albuquerque area next week. I'll be back live in studio with you guys, and that will be tremendous. Cannot wait. Also, exciting program note. Tyler Lovely moving on from the program, going to do bigger and better things. A. Marie Castillo will be joining us regularly on the program, moving from the morning show to the afternoon show. So congratulations to all those parties involved. We're very excited about that as well. There we go.
Tyler,
round,
what
boys.
A dude. You crushed it. You crushed it in your time with us, man. We really appreciate you, my dude.
Oh, gosh.
Friends of the show had nothing but kind words for you, Tyler.
It's very much true. I'm ready to go sports, though, boys. I stayed up late last night watching Denver versus LA. It's weird how these West Coast teams are playing so late at night. You feel like that's usually a little bit earlier kind of thing. But the Denver game, are we calling it the Denver game or are we calling it the LA series? Does this thing have a personality yet? Is it just a conference championship between two good teams? Like, what's your energy on basketball right now, Van?
The way Nikola Jokic played, and by the way, I am in the home of the Nuggets right now.
You are in Denver.
The power of the internet. We are in two different parts of the country doing a program in Albuquerque. I love the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're there.
But I am in Denver right now, and this place is a buzz. The whole town is painted blue and yellow, and we're not going to call it the Nuggets game or the Lakers series. This is the rise. This is the coming out party for Nikola Jokic. If you didn't know how bad of a dude this guy was already, welcome to the party.
I think there's a lot of truth to what you're saying, because I think there's a lot of dudes that don't know how bad of a dude he is. He had 2 consecutive MVP seasons. He was robbed this year. We could talk about that. There's Embiid wanted it. He went and got the numbers to get it. Like, that is what it is. Jokic don't care. Dude, 7 foot tall. Dude plays the point. Dude gets underneath the basket. He leads the fast break. He is a talent that I don't think I've ever seen at that size. I don't think I've ever seen a dude built that way do those things that he does. And now he's going to be in the national spotlight, because I feel like the last time they were in this situation, that was the bubble year, right? And the game didn't have the viewership that the game currently has now, specifically paired up against, which we'll talk about a little bit later in this broadcast, paired up against the NBA draft lottery last night. There were more eyes on basketball than there had been all season long, and Jokic went and messed around and got a triple-double in the first quarter.
It's bonkers the way this guy is playing. And he takes a lot of crap from the sports community because MVP should have been MVP again this year. If you need any more evidence, just look at the way Joel Embiid MVP'd played in the last 2 games of the series. He choked, Harden choked, but Nikola Jokic stepped up. So if there is any doubts for anybody, and I mean, he, like my previous point, he catches flack, excuse me, because he hasn't advanced to the conference finals. He hasn't had a shot at a championship yet. And that's because all the pieces around him when it comes to playoff time have either been hurt or non-existent. Now he has a healthy team around him, and you could see what he does as the centerpiece of that Nuggets team.
Michael Porter Jr. is a dude. I've been talking about him for a lot of years. Obviously, his time at Mizzou was similar to my time in St. Louis working in sports broadcasting. He's a world of talent, but you could have 14 guys on your team, and 14 of those guys are not Nikola Jokic. Like, you just have the one. And whenever the bench is real small the way that it is now, in my opinion, this is the one where he's now in the conversation of one of the greatest to ever do it all time. This is he's going to obviously, if they succeed past the Los Angeles Lakers, he's going to be part of that conversation of being better than LeBron James. If he doesn't, then it's going to be this is the last step before he ascends to the next level. And I think either way, the Denver Nuggets and he are going to come out in a really positive conversation, because I don't think nationally the Nuggets have really gotten any sweat from anyone. I don't give it to him personally, even though I recognize the talent the dude is. But I still keep him out of all those big conversations. I guess really just historical ones. I think current day conversations he's put in there, but that's just from NBA dudes. That's not from sports fan. And I'm talking about sports fan that, for instance, the handful of people that don't love the NFL know who Patrick Mahomes is. I think this is a chance that the people that don't know the NBA will learn who Jokic is.
3 people have gotten multiple 30-point triple doubles. That is Nikola Jokic's opponent this week, LeBron James. Russell Westbrook did it historically, but Nikola Jokic is putting up historic numbers. He had 6 triple doubles already this playoff season, 12 total in the playoffs in his young career. And there's only 3 people all time who have had a 40-point, 20 rebound, 10 assist game. That is Bill Russell did it once. Wilt Chamberlain did it once. Nikola Jokic has already done it twice. He is insane.
Know. Yeah, no, I didn't know that. And what's interesting about you saying that is, and you admitted there was some talent around him, but there's not his level of talent. Second the game starts, where the Nuggets are like, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we give our best player the ball every single possession. What was it, 34, 21, and 14? Is that what it was? They give their best player the ball every single possession and then let him go. And he's green-lighted from inside 30 feet. Like, we're not talking about a dude who has to go to the basket every single time. We're not talking about a dude that has to come off of a screen or do a thing. It is a guy who has the ball, and then he'll either get, 34 points or 14 assists, which is 28 points at the min. By the way, he goes to the line, the Nuggets have it figured out. Ride this horse until this horse cannot be ridden anymore. And Jokic is that dude right now. I'm looking at, I got the postgame, I got the stat line up here. I didn't realize it was a 21-point lead before the Lakers came back and made a game out of it in the final possession.
Yeah, that is accurate. The Lakers made a nice fourth quarter run to make it a game, but Nikola Jokic dominated the whole thing. In the first half, Nikola Jokic had more rebounds than the Lakers team.
Wild.
The whole team.
Yeah, the second half was just kind of ran by the Lakers all the way through. If they hadn't came out of sputtering, 25 in the first quarter, 6 of his 10 rebounds in the first half were on the offensive end. This is crazy to me. Like, what is AD doing at the basket? But then I watch all the way to the end of the game. I'm like, well, these dudes have been battling the whole time. But why such a slow start? Like, is this the old man Laker team? Like, did they need a game to ease in? Also, we're talking about like a 5-point victory at the end of it or whatever it was. If it's not 5, I'm not apologizing. And we're talking about a home team winning game 1. This is what's supposed to happen anyways. It's not like this is the big knockout blow that the Lakers can't bounce back from. It's not that. This is just the jab they expected to catch in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. They're the number 1 seed in the Western Conference playing at home. They're supposed to win. You know, they dominated the first 2.5, 3 quarters. But hey, Vegas guy will tell you Lakers still beat the spread.
Oh,
that's a W in Vegas, baby.
Hey, when Jokic turns around and hits the three, the miracle shot into the half, and you're like, this won't be a thing, and it's absolutely a gigantic thing at the end of the game. Vegas knows.
Sure. Oh, sure.
It's almost garbage to me. So, anyways, what a heck of a game last night. Both teams shooting above 55% from the field, 47 from three. It was incredibly fun to watch. This is the spotlight that the NBA needs right now because there's so many dumb stories. There's the Ja Morant stuff, which we'll talk about a little bit later. There's so much stuff going on surrounding the game. The NBA draft is fixed. There's so much stuff that's just currently happening. And because that stuff is happening, it needs this. It needs like a really good champion to exist moving forward.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about the draft. I can't wait to talk about Ja Morant. But I mean, this game and this series deserves all its due attention right now because the NBA was rejuvenated with LeBron versus Steph. Now you got LeBron going against the MVP, the best player on the planet right now. I've been very outspoken that a healthy LeBron James and a healthy Davis will steamroll past anybody. And I was proven oh so wrong last night, and I'll be eating crow. But again, that's why they have a 7-game series. Lakers haven't lost a game at home. Denver plays very well at home. That's why they split them up. That's why everyone else gets a home game. I think it's going to be a long series. I see the Lakers rebounding, but let's give Nikola Jokic his flowers. Like, this dude played his balls off, and casual NBA fan who just saw this random dude get 2 MVPs in a row and doesn't understand why. If you got eyes on him for the first time last night, you know why.
The place I watched the game at, I'm here in St. Louis, Missouri. I watched it like a townie bar. The place I watched the game is there are guys that don't know how to pronounce his name. You know, there are guys that only are having the LeBron James conversation. And by the way, we've been having the LeBron James conversation for 20 whatever years. Like, I get you go with what you know. But as I'm trying to say, like, no, he will do this here. And the game came down to 1 minute. And by the way, we're talking about like the Lakers steamrolling, and I think you're very correct. What they did in the second half on is they took the Nuggets. I mean, the Nuggets won because of the cushion they built in the first half. They survived is what the Nuggets did.
Sure.
Like, spectacular performance by their star player. But during that part of that steamroll, if LeBron hits that three, under the minute straight away, the one that's just too strong off the back iron, and he kind of does this notoriously, pulls the trigger before there's anyone at or near that can grab an offensive rebound. Not to necessarily say you want to quantify your offense on offensive rebounds, because that's about the hardest thing in the whole world.
Right.
Would have been insanely different there at the end. And then for some reason, a lackadaisical, we're not going to foul at the end. 20 seconds rolls off. And the whole time, at least I am, the whole time I'm going, foul here, foul here, foul here. Would it foul here? And then it eventually comes. And then I think my last footnote, Van, before I would close the book on this one, which, by the way, big win for Denver, big win for Jokic. Austin Reeves is him. The dude is unreal. I thought, like we started talking about a couple months ago, obviously the playoffs, it's elevated to another level. But when he possesses the ball, he holds the ball like a dude who loves to score the ball. And in these tight games, when he hit that big three to bring it within 3 last night, he might be the future of the Lakers once LeBron decides to leave and play with his kid wherever.
Yeah, I mean, Reeves played lights out in the second half. He was a facilitator. He helped spread it around. He's like a LeBron James Jr. out there for the Lakers offense. But he had a very critical mistake at the end when he had an open drive to the basket and he dished it, made an errant pass to LeBron, and kind of crushed the hopes of the Lakers down the stretch. LeBron's pull-up three that they totally should have went for 2 in that moment, and then Reeves' errant pass. Those were the 2 big plays down the stretch that kind of ruined a great comeback for the Lakers.
A lot of NBA last night. We're going to talk, obviously, about the Heat playing the Celtics tonight. That's going to be incredibly good. We'll preview that later in the program. We do have a lot of updates as far as the NBA draft goes. We'll go over that. You had found a fun story about overseas basketball, which we never talk about because there's no reason. So we'll knock that one out the park. Big win for college football players today. We'll go over that at length as well. The John Morant update. I'm going to take the Adam Stern. Help me out. Silver. Adam Silver is a coward. I'm going to go down that. I think that's the only path I know to take on this story. So we'll hit on that for sure. Josh Sushan, the voice of the Isotopes, will be joining us at 6 o'clock as we preview tonight's Isotopes game and go down to the lab, not just tonight, but every day for like the next 2 weeks outside of Mondays, because the Isotopes are home on back-to-back ones. You can catch Van and I throwing out the first pitch next Wednesday night. So that's 1 week from today. We'll be throwing out the first pitch at Isotopes Park. So big thank you to the Isotopes for offering that to us. We will say yes to attention every single time. That is a fact. It's going to be a good program today. Also, we're going to pour one out. We don't do a pour one out segment a lot, but we're going to pour one out to Pat McAfee as he is officially sold out to ESPN. So we will do that at some point in the broadcast as well. Boys, it's good to be back. I'm here all week. Van, you are off Friday. We will figure out something on that end. You are celebrating the weekend in Denver with your daughter. Congratulations to you and your family on your successes right now.
Thank you so much, sir. I actually have my beautiful daughter sitting right here doing her homework in the Airbnb in beautiful and historic Denver, Colorado.
How lucky we all are.
Sure.
Sponsors whenever we get back. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. You're on this live stream. So. Sweet. Yeah. Wait, can they see? Yeah. Am I in? Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll just be. That way, in case I die, the witness doesn't. Okay. My sister and I stayed at, well, I got a hotel. In New Orleans. Right across from the Superdome. And this was 2009. So it was like, just a few years after Katrina. And I was like, this $32 is nice. It's going to be great. We're barely going to be sleeping. We're in New Orleans. Yeah. And it was the scariest place I've ever been to. I've been to a lot of scary places. But long story short, we found a new place. But for 2 different weeks of hotels. Yeah. I'm kind of scared. I was just when I worked with them. No, definitely not killed her. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, like a pizza delivery guy was like most recent. Yeah. No, I don't. I think the Granite City place is like. Yeah. I booked it last night. I was watching the sports time. Don't be drunk. How long we got, Tyler? I don't know if you've got not good. Back on the program. Sports Animal live chat's going crazy on the live stream. If you're not joined with us on the live stream, join us on the live stream. Facebook.com/talkabq, YouTube.com/talkabq. A lot of talk about foul trouble hurting the Nuggets. Need to use fouls to control the clock of the game. I get all that. The real truth about the Nuggets in the second half last night was they weren't ready for the Lakers in the second half last night. If the Lakers would have played two halves of basketball last night, we're talking about a big Lakers win on the road and how they stole one from a favored team and how LeBron is the absolute truth and he's going to play in his 12th NBA championship or whatever.
Yeah, I was very outspoken about if LeBron James and Anthony Davis are healthy, this is the Lakers series. They're the best team top to bottom. They got the best role players versus the Nuggets. And I'll stick with it. They'll still win the series, but oh my God, is Nikola Jokic that dude? And the Nuggets look strong. I mean, fought off that second half surge by the Lakers. The Lakers look like the better team in the second half, but the game is judged in the win or loss category by who has most points at the end. I think that was John Madden who said that.
Yeah, that's very Socrates of you. Congratulations to every single Detroit Pistons fan who watched their team go to 17 total wins on the season and ended up with the 5th overall pick. The top three, Vanny, ready in the 2023 NBA draft. San Antonio, number 1, Charlotte, number 2, Portland, number 3. That is the way this one goes. Congratulations to San Antonio and Greg Popovich. Victor Wembanyama is going to be a Spur.
I don't know what Greg Popovich did, if he sold his soul at the crossroads, Robert Johnson style, so he could invent the blues guitar. But Greg Popovich has only finished in the bottom 3 of the lottery 3 times in his career. Those 3 times have turned into David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and now Victor Wembanyama. What?
I think they finished. I know you just said the number, but the percent of winning when you're in the chance for the lottery and how the Spurs only do it every time they need to reload, unreal. Like I don't know what the NBA loves about the Spurs. It died off. Like the love for them died off over the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, I guess. It's good for Greg Popovich because Greg Popovich seems like a dude. And if he can get another cliche Tim Duncan, if he can get another like once in a generation thing, and I think I'm subscribing to what I've seen as Wembanyama being once in a generation. Like I know they're playing against like slouches and like Italy is not the same as playing super high end D1 basketball or playing in the NBA, obviously. But he seems to have all the tools, right? Like he seems to be a dude who could be a dude. I'm in on the Spurs, like kind of at least ascending that way with Popovich getting a final ride because it kind of seemed like he was just kind of fading away there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, we know how long Greg Popovich has been around here. He's in his mid-70s. Like, he's been around since the friggin' 80s. He's been coaching for almost 40 years. This ride that he's been on is fantastic. Like, again, he gets a lot of help in the draft. He getting these giant elite basketball players. But I'm all the way in on Victor Wembanyama. Just watching the tape on him, watching games on him, listening to the best minds in basketball say this is the best prospect since LeBron James, possibly the best prospect ever. Like he is somewhere in between 7'2" and 7'5". Who knows how tall this kid really is? I've heard all kinds of reports that he's air quotes only 7'2" or he's as tall as 7'5". Who cares? He's over 7 foot tall. He can handle the ball. He can shoot one-legged three-pointers. He can pass like Nikola Jokic, and he's only 19 friggin' years old. Like, this is that dude. He is a franchise-altering pick.
Did you see his reaction when Houston ended up number 4?
Yeah, that one hurt. That one hurt.
And I know I said Italy earlier, my little diatribe, but obviously I'm in France. There's such a tie between France and the Spurs, with obviously Tony Parker for all those years. Boris Diaw was from
Boris Diaw.
France. Yeah, there's just like a rich fandom between that country and the Spurs. So undoubtedly, Victor grew up a Spurs guy. He grew up like in that universe of fandom, and San Antonio celebrates teams that are they celebrated a losing team this year. You said the stat earlier, under 300 win percent in those 3 years, and they get the first round pick every year or whatever. Like, San Antonio knows that for the next probably 15 years, they're in the mix now. And this kind of shores up basketball in Texas for some time to come, because Houston is refusing to figure it out, and Dallas is literally thrown in the towel at the end of seasons.
Well, I'm a bandwagon. Well, not bandwagon. I'm a fair weather Rockets fan because, I'm a diehard Astros fan from Houston, grew up on it. I was there during Hakeem and Drexler those years. So there's a special place in my heart for Houston Rockets. So there was a lot of hope being held out in my heart that the Rockets would get that number 1 pick, and I get to be a bandwagon Rockets, fair weather Rockets fan again. And I was so excited to buy one of those red and yellow retro throwback old school Rockets jerseys with Wemby on the back and the number 1. And I know every other fan base, whether you're a hardcore basketball fan or a fair weather fan like I am, we're drooling over this guy. Like you mentioned right at the beginning of the segment, those poor Pistons. Like, the Pistons were atrocious, awful. I mean, it was hard to watch. Pistons fans didn't even show up for games. It's so hard to watch. They couldn't give away tickets this year. They were so pathetic. And then they drop all the way down to 5. That is a huge nut punch to Pistons family.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment completely. Houston is not going to get the help of the NBA. Dallas is not going to get the help of the NBA, because if San Antonio gets one more help, and I don't know how you define help, but if San Antonio gets one more help, then San Antonio is set. And then you're doing what? You're capturing that audience. And that's what the NBA wants. The NBA wants to be able to bring in that viewership. They don't want, how NBA social media is. They don't want the state of Texas oppo the NBA. So Houston, in trouble for a while. Dallas, probably in trouble for a while. San Antonio, not in trouble for a while. I found this stat when I was looking over stats. Are you ready?
Hit me.
So, when San Antonio has the number 1 pick, the Spurs in their first season with David Robinson went 56-26. And in the first season with Tim Duncan, they went 56-26. Van, the 2 best starts.
You got your betting number.
Right. Take 56-26 with Wembanyama, and he's going to win Rookie of the Year just like Tim Duncan and David Robinson did both times. Like, I don't know why this wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the French connection. You're welcome for that reference. There's pictures of Victor Wembanyama when he's a kid wearing Tony Parker jerseys.
Yeah.
Like, this is destiny. Like, the French fan base only likes the Spurs, the best player in French history, the most touted prospect in NBA history goes to the Spurs. It's only fitting. I don't care if it's collusion or not. As far as my Rockets fandom, my little Rockets heart being broken, with that set aside, this is the perfect fit. Good look. San Antonio cares about the Spurs. It's a one-horse town. All you got is the Spurs. I mean, remember, we went to the Royal Rumble in San Antonio, and it is all Astros, Cowboys, and Spurs gear as far as the eye can see.
And
of course, Spurs are Spurs are number 1 easily, because that's the only show in town.
It's a big enough audience, because that San Antonio Austin connection now, because they've grown into one city. I don't think people talk about that a ton.
You're 45 minutes apart.
Yeah, at max, right? There's a fandom there to pack the Alamo Dome every single game that a game is played, and they will, because the Spurs played there and they put 55,000 people in there, and the Spurs won 22 games last year. Even if it's not 56 or whatever number I just said, 56-26, if it's 26-56, if this time next year we're talking about the opportunity to get whatever the next hotness is next year, we're not going to project that right now, but if that is what is currently happening, the Spurs are not just set, they're super set. Also, from the Sports Animal live chat, thank you for tuning in with us on the live stream. Is there any worry, Van, that it's going to end up being a Sam Bowie or a Greg Oden situation? Because the only thing I think that stands different from Robinson and Duncan with the Spurs is Duncan played 4 years at Wake Forest. Obviously, Robinson played 1 year in college before he came out. Do you have concern at Victor's young age, as I butcher his name? Do you have any concern that the Spurs are getting a guy that's maybe not the pedigree they're accustomed to and they won't know how to handle it?
No, I don't. I have no feeling about that whatsoever. I have no worries about Victor Wembanyama. I don't care if he's not the greatest player in basketball history. This kid's a sure thing. He's going to win the Rookie of the Year. He's going to get all the reps in the world, and he's going to be on his rookie contract. Even if it's a multi-million-dollar number one pick rookie contract, he's still going to be affordable for the immediate level of talent you get. So every possible free agent, every disgruntled player that wants out of their team is going to start begging to go to San Antonio and play for Victor Wembanyama.
You think it's right away, though? Because
immediately.
I don't know, because that's the one where I have a hiccup, because I think there's such a culture in the league now with the way, and we've talked about this in other aspects when talking, but diets are different, exercise is different, commitment to the game is different, and I think some of these older players want to play with older players. This is the LeBron thing. This is the, hey, let's all have one last ride, one last go, and I think it'll take 2-3 years before guys are trying to get with Victor regularly. But I do think there's an advantage to his rookie contract, where if you are San Antonio, you can convince some guys to come in for dollars. But I don't necessarily know if guys are yearning to get there immediately, but I do believe they will eventually.
I think it's going to be immediate. The second they're able, I mean, where else is a free agent going to go? You want to go where there's already an established star, where you're going to get your support. I mean, the Western Conference is a gauntlet already. But, I mean, the only worry about Wembanyama is he hasn't filled out that giant frame yet. He looks fragile. Like he's a big guy, and he's going to fill out that body eventually. And what better place in the country to fill out a body than San Antonio, Texas, with all that Tex-Mex and all that barbecue and all that seafood and all those thick Latina grandmas that are going to have him over in the house and feed him meal after meal after meal. There's no better place for Victor Wembanyama to fill out that body than San Antonio, Texas. You did so good. Congratulations.
18-year-old LeBron James won 35 games his rookie year. 21-year-old Michael Jordan won 38 games his rookie year. David Robinson was 24 in his rookie season. Duncan was 21. Those two guys obviously played together in Duncan's rookie season, where they had the 56 wins. I would be very surprised if Wembanyama hits 50 wins in his first season, but it's the right direction for the Spurs. I think it's going to go well. From the Sports Animal live chat, what about LeBron and Bronny to San Antonio? Sure. I mean, if whatever year Bronny's available, if you have the first overall pick, take them, because you actually get two players, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it right there. We've been talking about this for 2 years already, since Bronny started looking like a legit NBA basketball player. LeBron's got one more year in LA, and then the same year that Bronny's going in the draft is the same year that LeBron's going to be a free agent. Congratulations. You get the whole James family. Why not San Antonio?
Is Pop going to be there forever?
Well, okay. With his high level of income and advances in modern science, who says he can't coach until he's 100?
I don't think you're wrong. I think I've talked to you about this before. I'm friends with the president of player personnel over at the Spurs. Like, we grew up together in St. Louis, and every conversation we've had about the Spurs and about the organization is how there's nothing in question. Like, there's just like a higher standard of not just athletics business, but business overall. Like, the second this cat shows up, like it'll be ownership, it'll be head coach. We only do basketball here. Like, we don't do weird stuff here. Like, we We are here to do really well professionally, not just for you guys on the court, but for the front office, for everyone who supports. It is a culture there that, to my understanding, is not just unmatched in sports, but it might be unmatched in business.
Yeah, they're a great organization top to bottom. Like they've never had the struggles that you see seasonally with other organizations. They're so tightly wound and they're so well run, like you said, like on and off the court. I have no issues of him being there whatsoever.
Big thank you to John Lopez Real Estate and Coldwell Banker for supporting our mobile studios today. The YMCA of Central New Mexico, which I've been missing out on for like the last 2 weeks. Cannot wait to get back. That's going to be my jam. Day one that I am back. The YMCA of Central New Mexico. Hollow Spirits night. We won't be there. Vernon Kuntz will. Go hang out with Vernon over at Hollow Spirits tonight as he is hosting the United Watch Party, while Van and I are on the road. So go support your New Mexico United tonight. It's an earlier game tonight, Van. I don't know if you saw that because it's against the
Yeah,
Ludon United. Is that right? Ludon. So that game starts
don't
at
care.
5:00 Mountain.
Gonna whoever it is, they're gonna lose.
So Vern will be out there. Go hang out with he. Obviously, talk a little bit about the sports animal. We got a bunch of appearances next week. We're excited about that. We're at Ice Toast Park on Wednesday. That will be very good. I know we're lined up to hang out with the Dukes next week, so that'll be very good. The ABQ Dukes. So thank you to they for being a partner of this show. We'll be at Albuquerque at ABQ Axe next week as well. So that'll be also equally fun. Big thank you to Red Door for being big supporters of the program. Teller Vodka is going to be a lot of fun over the next couple weeks for me, as I know they're going to have a presence at Duke City Championship Wrestling is too. So that's going to be a fun thing. So they're going to come out and hang out with us doing some stuff there. Our first pro wrestling show is Thursday, May 25th at the historic El Rey Theater. Tickets on sale now, dccwtickets.com. Come and see. I think we have 16 matches, Van. It's going to be a couple-hour broadcast, or excuse me, a couple-hour event, and then we are going to capture it for broadcast and repurposing. So we'll put that in a lot of places for a lot of people. That'll be excellent. Whenever we get back, we pour one out to a guy that kind of changed the game. And then, like everyone who changes the game, sold out immediately for the bag. I get it. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Oh, okay. I think it's on Rainbow right now. Yeah, but me and Van are both out of town, so we can't really forward you those tickets. Yeah, let me try to figure it out, though. I'll get right back to you. Right back. Why is it coming?
Let's get Posty on the program. Me and Tyler want to smoke cigarettes with him.
I'll have Post Malone tickets tomorrow and Friday to give away. So I don't know. And then heads up on your live stream, Van, your mic's live all the time. So
Say what?
on your StreamYard, your mic is live all the time. Like during commercial breaks and stuff. So did you see Kat's text?
Say that again.
Did you see that Cat text?
No, she snuck into my Facebook messages, and I text her on her phone number.
Okay. Yeah, she just called me looking for you.
Yeah, I just missed something from her too. What'd she say?
I think she's trying to go to the Ice Tubs game tonight, but I was like, well, neither one of us are there. So
Oh, okay.
it looks like they're in rain delay. So
There'll probably be some double headers this weekend. It's supposed to rain all week.
how is it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can go to 7. I don't have like a whole show made out till 7, but we'll figure it out.
My band goes on at 8, and we're like 20 minutes away. So we're good.
Back on the program. Welcome back to the Sports Animal. It's Tuman on. Okay, Van. The industry lost a good one today.
R.I.P., brother.
Yeah. And you know what this is? It's like good in a lot of ways, but it's bad in a lot. I'm going to start with the bad. Pat McAfee started his program with the boys.
Sure.
That was it. And then he curtailed it from a YouTube thing, sent it over to Sirius Satellite Radio, was making a couple $1,000,000, which, hey, by the way, I'm not going to bat an eye at. Like, way to go. Then he got that 4-year, 120 milli from FanDuel. And if you are a fan of entertainment historically, this was a deal similar to like Conan O'Brien had, similar to David Letterman, where like Worldwide Pants got paid, $100 million from CBS, and then they handle all the expenses. They handle the whole kit and caboodle or whatever. So Pat McAfee is allegedly in the fall walking away from his $120 million deal with FanDuel, as he has been bought out by ESPN. The all-powerful Disney van has swung in, and they have captured Pat McAfee for a deal that allegedly is 8 figures per year. What?
8 is a lot.
8 is a lot of figures.
7 is fantastic. 8, you did something right, Patty boy.
He's already a regular on College Game Day. He does that alt broadcast with Peyton Manning, who owns Omaha Productions, which is a very similar kind of business plan that Pat McAfee uses. Inside sports broadcasting, similar to the way we do it. Like it's you have your entity, you create your thing. Pat McAfee says it will not limit the show. I believe that is a lie, Van.
That is a bold-faced lie.
That is a bold-faced lie.
You cannot have the real, true, as it stands now on Sirius, on YouTube, Pat McAfee show where they're dropping F-bombs left and right. They're making fun of people left and right.
Mm-hmm.
The multiple lawsuits, Brett Favre and whoever else left and right. You can't have that program. The almighty mouse will control your content. Pat McAfee, you're Dunsky. Also, congratulations.
This happened. Hey, congratulations. Also, we're not worthy. We're scum. Yeah. We suck. Yeah. Like, this same thing happened with Howard Stern, right? So Howard Stern was on terrestrial radio, and he was clever, and he was creative, and he was edgy, and he created entendres and situations that left the mind open to theater, and it was brilliant radio for a lot of years in the 90s, and they made a cool movie about it. And then in 2004, satellite radio rolls around, and it picks up Howard Stern, and now he's dropping curse words, and he's losing his creativity, and the product and right now there's somebody listening who just loves local sports talk and is a friend of the show, and they're going, I love Howard. I listen to Howard every day. Howard sucks compared to the way Howard used to be. And you're going to end up with the same kind of situation here, where Pat McAfee is going to have on who? Scott Van Pelt. Pat McAfee is going to have on who? Whatever talking head is making the circles. And, ESPN is, well, our analyst said on the morning show that Colin Kaepernick could still start in the NFL. So then the 5 p.m. Sports Center is like, rumored is Colin Kaepernick's going to start in the NFL. No, that's not a story. Like, you did this. You created this whole thing. And Pat McAfee is not going to be part of that machine. And I don't necessarily know how much it helps his brand. He was already on ESPN. Like, does he still get to do WWE? Does he still get to go jump off stuff? Like, does he still get to be a dude? Because a big part of his brand is being a dude.
Yeah, I mean, can he have controversial rappers? Can he interview porn stars?
Yeah, Pac-Man Jones is every day.
Yeah, is he going to have Aaron Rodgers talking about ayahuasca on ESPN? No, it's going to be a watered-down product. There's going to be producers in the building telling him what he can and can't say, and it's not going to be the same program. I'm sure it's going to be way better than the majority of the lineup on ESPN, but still, it's not going to be the same.
Well, here's how little I know about ESPN, because I'm not a sports TV guy, right? Like, I don't watch talking head sports TV. But I remember in high school, which was 20 years ago for me, I would sit in the lunchroom and I would watch Part in the Interruption. I would watch Around the Horn. And if I turned on the TV right now, it's Part in the Interruption and Around the Horn. Like, this has been the same narrative for 20 years. If ESPN wants to hit a younger demo, which everyone wants to hit a younger demo, this is how you get it, I guess. But that show, Pat McAfee's show, is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. every day. People are busy at that time. Like, I get why you stream it on your phone. I get why it follows you around. Is it necessarily going to be on at the dentist office? I don't think it is. Is it necessarily going to be on? Maybe it'll be on at the local belly up towny bar, but you don't have the volume on it, that stuff. Like, I don't necessarily know if I see the grab for Pat McAfee outside of 8 figures a year.
Of course. Yes. I'm saying the same answer. The answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
You're talking tens of thousands of dollars? My character is going to remain intact. We talking hundreds of thousands of dollars? We got some wiggle room there. We're talking about millions of dollars? What? Sure. What do you want me to do, Mr. Mouse?
Yes.
Yes, Mickey and Walt. I will do.
Friend of the show, Pat, welcome to the Sports Animal Hotline. How are you?
Okay.
No, thanks for the call, Pat. We'll catch you another time. The kind of a weird life some listeners of this show live.
Okay. That's one way to hear us, I suppose.
It's not a KKOB show just because I don't do an entire segment on how I think Steve Kerr is right about gun control. Like, it's not that
Sure.
show.
You know,
Hey, you know them boys that stormed the Capitol? They're just some good old boys letting off some steam, Fred. You know what I'm saying?
Just
okay,
incredibly vexing.
that's the ice coldest take. Hey, Tyler, you back in the studio. Is his name up on the wall? His callers are not supposed to call anymore. Is he one of our
Definitely on the
guys?
wall.
It's been so long, I don't remember.
I'm about Pat McAfee. Hopefully they have better call screeners than we have. That show is going to do fine. There's going to be a grip of Disney placement moving forward. We're going to have what's the cat's name from The Mandalorian? The actor, help me out here, Van.
Not Diego Luna.
No, the other guy, the guy that was in The Last of Us. Whatever. Like, you're going to get all these like actor placements all the time. Like, it's going to end up being
Pedro Pascal.
Thank you. It's going to end up being a watery, downy, weirdy Pat McAfee adjacent show is what it's going to end up being. And they won't do that stuff where they fight with the NFL anymore. And they won't, like, we go to Super Bowl Row. Like, it's a different energy when they're out there as opposed to every show that's not us. Like, it's going to be a different thing. So congratulations to he on his personal success, and RIP to his friends and fans. But I think you and I should call FanDuel. Like, we should figure out what we got to do to just, if we can strip
for
off
real. You guys got a
$120.
lot of money on the table right now, FanDuel. Spread it to the boys. Let's go. By the way, any other band callers out there listening? It's Tyler's last day.
Yeah, it's Tyler's last day. He don't care.
It in.
You don't care at all.
He don't care at all. Anybody else?
Is there a deeper conversation about, because if you're Pat McAfee, you obviously leverage this to FanDuel, right? So did FanDuel say, not worth the money, not worth the return? Like, is gambling's not in trouble? I can't think gambling's in trouble for a second. So is this just a bigger platform, childhood dream kind of thing? Maybe. 8 figures. The answer is 8 figures. I'm trying to quantify this, but that's the answer.
That's the answer. Yeah. I'd like to view myself as a person with character and integrity and nice, thick moral fiber that can't be penetrated. Not for that much money.
No, not for that much.
No, I will bow down to you, Mr. Mouse. Let's go.
Also, here's a fun one. Disney laid off like 7,000 people last month.
To afford Pat McAfee.
That's where they came up with the dollars.
Sorry, Janice.
Yeah. Disney's biggest investments right now, affording Pat McAfee and suing Ron DeSantis. Those
Smart
are the
moves.
two. That's where all the money's going right now. It's going to end up being big wins in both cases. I promise you that. There's like one organization you don't mess with. Don't mess with. Yeah.
Don't mess with the mouse.
Legally speaking, the Confederate trade embargo was fine. No one has ever said otherwise. Everyone knows that.
Amazon, you are a cupcake compared to Disney. Amazon, those are rookie numbers you're putting up. We're talking about Disney.
They have Joe Buck and they have Pat McAfee. This could possibly be the greatest crossover episode of all time.
You miss me with that.
Where we get back, Van has decided to get the Taiwanese basketball league, whatever live streaming package, and we will tell you why. 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
pick up something close either way, whatever you feel like. Okay. There. Yeah. House made special sauce. Yes. You order it and open it. You got to put on the app. I mean, technically 10 o'clock tomorrow. What member of the animal kingdom looks the most like Post Malone? The winner. The winner gets tickets. Have a yeah. Tyler, congratulations on the tickets. Yeah. Who take a picture of the most Post Malone looking homeless person in Albuquerque to win your free tickets. Hey, I'll get you some Teller. I got some Teller vodka temporary tattoos if you want some neck and some face tatty boys. That's a great verb. Post Malone out here. I don't know that one. I'm a big fan of White Iverson. I know that one. White Iverson's a banger. Here, hold on. Let me ask my 21-year-old daughter who's sitting right next to me. Hey, sweetie, what's a Post Malone banger? Yeah, I think he just. Oh, sweet. I think he just does singles now. Just pop hits. Yeah. Let's go.
You said, did you get my text? Oh, this is Post Malone, right?
Should be if it's not. There's no way a 40-year-old and an almost 40-year-old are going to know if it's Post Malone or not.
I think I'm actually low key. I think I'm super familiar with Post Malone's work.
Okay.
Austin Richard Post, known professionally as Post Malone, is an American rapper, singer, songwriter, and record producer known for his, I've never heard of this word, variegated vocals. What does that mean? Smoky voice?
Yeah, let's go with that. Auto-tuned.
This dude's 27? That's crazy. This dude seems like he's the most popular dude in the world. This is like the king of pop.
Well, because he looks 48. A rough 48, not even like a really good 48.
Okay.
Have you seen those those homeless haircut videos where you're like, they give a guy a makeover and they try to get him clean and give him a job? It's like Post Malone is like the before picture.
Okay, so Post Malone has a new album called Austin, and it is, oh, okay, here's a verb I didn't know. So I thought you released an album? You don't. They drop. Who knew?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Drop an album? That's been around a minute.
Oh, okay. So this album drops on July the 24th. So there you go. So that should be the one. He's also an actor. This dude's kind of the triple threat. He's like the next Justin Timberlake.
Okay, watch your mouth.
He should get one of those L'Oreal sponsorships where they make his skin look like it doesn't have tattoos all over his face. Do you know what I'm talking about? When they make up a person to make them look like socially acceptable.
He's not trying to be an accountant. He's a musician. The tattoos help. He's not running for Senate in Missouri. He's a rapper who plays the guitar.
I'm not a rapper. That's the only rapper bit I know. I don't know any other rapper bits. Okay. I don't know. I try. I tried to look up this story you were telling me about, Van. Big surprise, there's nothing on the internet. Why has Taiwanese basketball captured your attention?
Okay, so we all know the big man, Dwight Howard.
Correct.
Kind of got ran out of the NBA. He was sick of being a bench player, so he took his talents to Taiwan.
This is 1 year, by the way. After playing like 15 years, you said he was sick of it, but okay, keep going.
So now he is in Taiwan, and he is the absolute belle of the ball. He is doing all the super Asian-y Asian things. He's in Taiwanese pop bands. He's doing the crazy, flashy, bright light commercials. He's pitching seaweed snacks or whatever. And he's having the time of his friggin' life. Now, with all the drama...
Are you talking about only corporate stuff? Or is he also going down to like the local like Rucker Park of Taiwan and all like rucking it up?
He's doing all of it. He's having the time of his life. He's a great follow on Instagram, by the way. His journey is hilarious. But now with all the drama in the NBA, the people who missed out on the playoffs, the guys who got ran out of the playoffs by losing, Ja Morant's drama, Doc Rivers getting fired, CP3 and DeAndre Ayton might not be on the Suns. Julius Randle might be unhappy in New York. Ben Simmons, we know how crazy that human being is. He's trying to recruit every almost retired or disgruntled basketball player to go form a dream team with him in Taiwan, and I am friggin' here for it.
I'm looking at his Instagram right now as you're talking about it. How is this dude so jacked?
You hear me? Like, my biggest goal in life is to have Dwight Howard shoulders. Like, those are the best shoulders in the game.
Oh, hold up. He's not jacked. He's just standing next to a bunch of Taiwanese people.
Okay, also both. He is both.
Everyone in this pickup game of basketball is Tyler Lovely sized. And then there's one Dwight Howard. Like this, of course he's killing it. Did you know his nickname out there is Magical Beast because he was originally drafted by the Magic and he is a beast? That is a cool nickname. Like
Yes.
it's got a little, you know how like Taiwanese writing is? It looks cool when it's written. Like this is not the worst, what I'm calling a retirement. I guess it's still not a retirement. I don't want to call it his final days. It's not like he's dying.
No,
But like
no.
this is like a super cool thing. I'm into super cool things. If the San Antonio Spurs offer him any amount of money though to come back and play with Wembanyama, take it. Like don't hang on.
He'll come. I don't know. He had his fun in Taiwan, and if he can't get his boys out there to play with them, he'll be right back here. Like, of course. But he is like, he's calling out Ja Morant. He's like, hey, we'll keep you safe out here. Take a year off the association. Come have some fun in Thailand. He's calling out CP3. He's like, it looks like you're on your way out the door at Phoenix. Come to Taiwan. Dude, he's calling out Julius Randle. He's like, you don't seem happy in New York. Come to Taiwan. Like, literally anybody. Klay Thompson was shooting bricks all playoffs. He's like, hey, Klay, come take some time off in Taiwan. He wants to form like a disgruntled and almost retired dream team in Taiwan, and I hope he succeeds. That is going to be so much fun to watch. Can you imagine streaming YouTube Taiwanese basketball games with CP3, Dwight Howard, Klay Thompson, Ja Morant, and Julius Randle?
No, why Klay Thompson?
Dunking all over these Taiwanese players.
I don't understand why you're saying like Klay Thompson though. Klay Thompson's got nothing to do with this. Like there's even. Go ahead.
I don't know how good Taiwanese strip clubs are, but James Harden's the perfect candidate for the Dwight Howard dream team.
No,
Dwight Howard looks like a shell of himself. He stunk it up in the playoffs. Why not go on an Asian strip club tour, play some basketball with Dwight Howard, and be an internet sensation?
Iguodala is like the example of who should be over there. Like, why is he still on the Warriors? Like Udonis Haslem. Like, why is he still
Haslem is a great answer.
Like, these are the dudes that forever ride the pine, that are like actual good locker room guys. Like, know how to like travel, know how to like play the part in practice and do those things. You let those guys go over there. I'm in support of this plan. Then, like, let all those dudes ball out and beat up on Tyler Lovely measurable dudes. Like that, to me, is the play. Well, I don't hate that.
Slightly out of touch and insensitive answer. Where's Lynn Sanity? Where is Lynn Sanity and his dreadlocks? That would be perfect in Taiwan. Let's go.
He's not trying to go over there and be like that. Like, I don't know what he's doing currently. It's not that.
Lynn Sanity check when we get back.
Well, I got it right here. So I literally have it right in front of me. So he has not played since he had a very like scary head injury while playing in Taiwan.
No.
Yep.
Oh my God, I love this so much.
So he was elbowed in the face by former Brooklyn net Chris McCullough, who you remember I think played at UNC. That might not be right. But yeah, he went down and he's been considering retirement, and I have the highlight here. And low key, as I'm watching this Taiwanese basketball league, none of these dudes, Van, are from Taiwan. Like these are all, these are all players from other parts of the world for sure.
Yeah, I mean, depends on. I mean, you don't get drafted into the NBA. What part of the world are you into? Do you want to go play in the Euro League? Do you want to play in the Chinese League? Do you want to play in the Taiwanese League? Do you want to play in the Korean League? Like, these are legit leagues with legit basketball players that are just one step down from the NBA. Like, Dwight Howard isn't over there dunking on rice farmers. Like, he's playing against real basketball players.
As I'm watching this highlight here of McCullough hitting Lynn in the head, which is just an unfortunate injury. There's not really another way to communicate that. Whatever this venue is, wherever this game is at, like this court is full out of fans. Like there's a grip of people at this thing. This is insanely popular. I thought this was a joke. I thought this was like nothing, but this is a very legit and competitive basketball league.
Yes, and every game is like an Asian Rucker Park game. Like people are going bonkers in the stands. People are running out on the court, like doing the high fives with Dwight Howard. It's a blast. I mean, us baseball fans, we know how much fun the MPB is and the
Yeah.
KBL is, the Japanese and Korean baseball leagues. They do it more fun than we do here. It's the same thing with basketball over there. They have so much fun.
Lynn's team took an L in that game. He plays for a team called the Steelers. Couldn't tell you what city they're out of. But that ended their season as obviously they're approaching the playoff. I said obviously. I don't know why I did. As that league is approaching their playoffs over there. And he is now done for the season and possibly for his career based off of this concussion. There was a guy from New York, Stephon Marbury. Do you remember him?
Sure. Yeah,
yeah,
he crushed it over there.
Crushed it, but this is China, not Taiwan. But yeah, he grew up
Correct.
in New York, played for the Knicks, famously made the Starberry shoes, which were super cool. They were like a Converse. They were like $20. It was just like a neat, cool way to get like a cool brand in the hand of like kids that couldn't really afford it. Anyways, fell out of love with the NBA, fell out of favor. It wasn't for he went over to China. There's statues, there's worlds of celebration about him. There's like he won championships in China, and whenever he speaks about it, he speaks as highly of this thing as a professional decision as anything that's ever been done. So I get it, I guess. Like go get paid elsewhere. I don't have a problem with it. But again, if ESPN calls you, you quit FanDuel and you take the money. If the NBA calls you, I think you quit the Taiwanese or Japanese or Chinese or any Pan Asian country. I think you quit that thing and come back to the NBA unless I'm wrong. It's money. Whoever pays you more money.
There's a theme to this program today, isn't there?
There's a theme to life. Like it's
okay, sure.
Just go get more money. Like I don't care how you do it. Tyler's moving on to bigger opportunities. It's because you refuse to pay him, Van. Like I get it. It wasn't me, so you definitely weren't collecting.
Too late now, sucker.
Hey, it's his loss though. Marie Castillo coming in on the program. You know what kind of fire that's going to be?
What a bonus! What a treat for the friends of the show.
We're going to redo the intro. It's going to be a whole production. Well, in hindsight, wasn't the wrong decision.
We've both been out of town a lot. You could just say that when someone asks.
Cool. Been busy. I'm not on air going to play that. I've been helping my dad.
Busy guys.
Yeah. Don't you know? It looks like right now I got to fill an hour of rain delay for the Isotopes. I'm a guy who's got to produce stuff. I know Van's not filling.
All right.
It. He's
Today's
also
I-9 varsity, the varsity of Taiwanese dream team.
Yeah, the I-9 varsity of filler segments. That's what we go with. Would you rather? That's
the I-9 varsity of our previous I-9 varsities.
They don't. I already got that cut off. We can play that whenever. That one's just super saved on the back end. Big win for college football players, Van. I'm going to tell you exactly what they got that they should have got a long time ago. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Ooh. Oh, look at this. Yeah, look at that. Put it right on my face. I need one of these. This is nice.
From the Sports Animal live chat on the Sports Animal live stream, facebook.com/talkabq. Today's I9 Varsity, the I9 Varsity of Two Men On producers.
Okay.
It's going to be a good one.
6 years of doing this, 2 years full time, Fred. I'm starting to think it's us, not them.
Are we in 6 years? No, we're not, are we?
Yeah. This summer will be 6 years total, 2 years full time.
5 years, right? 2019? Time flies, dude.
My math off? Am I off
time
one?
Flies.
5 and 2 or 6 and 2? 5 and 2. 5 and 2. You're right. You're right.
We've been through them.
But still, we don't need that extra year to realize that.
We don't need Tyler Lovely.
Producers, man. Yeah.
Right. The radio job you had before this was booty. So this has been like a...
Huh.
I feel like we gave you a lot of advice. Our last producer was a Marine. Like, we get it. The last producer before that might have been a Marine. We have no idea.
Excellent point.
I'm in my hometown, right? And we're just going to take this one for a minute up until the bottom of the hour. I'm in my hometown, so I'm at like my hometown, like towny coffee shop. And I'm in doing work. I'm doing work, right? We got the new wrestling show coming up Thursday, May 25th. I'm throwing together like flyers and t-shirts. I'm doing all this stuff. And all these like townies that I haven't seen in years start coming in. Anyways, these kids that used to exist in like some of the youth programs I used to run, they're like graduating high school and stuff now. And I think it was like 1 out of every 2 was going into the services. Like, I don't remember that percentage being that high when I was
right.
Well, we did have 9/11. 9/11 kind of upped that a lot, but I do think that like the military services right now, and that's every degree of it, right? Army, Navy, Marines, National Guard, Coast Guard, whatever. They're making it look enticing. Like I think young adults are getting into it because there's opportunity to, number one, better yourself, but financial gain and educational gain and all those things. So yeah, Tyler, I mean, best of luck to you in your endeavors. different
that you know of.
I don't know if I would do so poorly in the military. Like that's not for me. Like
I enlisted in the military coming out of high school, and after like a year break, I was going to go to the Air Force.
To do what?
This was before September 11th because I'm so very old.
Yes.
And they were like, your garbage football knees will not do good. And then after September 11th, they're like, "Hey, remember that van guy? You
Call
want
him
back
back.
in? You want back in?" And then I was like, "No."
Van went to join the military, and they were like, "Nah, we good." Like
First
we
off, I got a perfect score on my ASVAB. I was in the 99th percentile.
What is a what? Yeah, on a what? A perfect score on what?
ASVAB.
What is that?
It's the entrance exam for the military.
I
got a perfect score. They wanted to make me a nurse.
Is it a really easy exam? Like, what is it?
First off, how dare you? I'm quite the intelligent young man. Well, I was a young man.
What? Give me an example question on this thing.
You want me to ask you a question?
Yes,
from a test I took over 20 years ago.
Yes.
Okay. Let's do it then. Fine. Here we go. Let me find something.
Because I feel okay. Hold up, turd. It says here, average users of the ASVAB, which I just discovered existed 2 seconds ago, average users get a 92.
All right, I got a 99. You can't get above a 99. I couldn't have scored higher. I didn't ask them to make it harder.
Okay. All right. It gets 20 gallons of water in 5 seconds. So that would go into be 5. So you would have to add 10 more gallons. I have no idea. How would you ever figure that out?
You would have scored way under 92.
I don't have a cup. Like, how would you collect the water? Also, turn the faucet on. That's the real question behind the ASVAB. I don't necessarily care about the numbers. Who's controlling?
The answer is 28 gallons, you dorks.
No, it is not.
What's the answer, Tyler?
Oh, yeah, because you guys are Googling against me. That's how this show's been the whole time Tyler's been here.
No, it's basic math, you fool.
What do I need basic math for?
Life survival skills in the military.
Okay, yeah. I got one. All right, there's paragraph questions? Boys, this thing is
We ain't
brutal.
got time for that.
All right, you ready for the paragraph question? All right, hold up.
Sure.
These are about war and stuff.
Which one?
No, I'm good on this. I would do badly at this. Tyler, did you take this? And what happened?
And the military was just like, nah, fam.
Did the military change their weed rule because every state's changed their weed rule? Or federally, it's not cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
You're a boot guy.
All right. So it looks like a lot of businesses use something similar to this test too. There might be some validity to it. Well, speaking about tests, college kids take them, but they're no longer testing the system as they've been accepted into the world van of like at least legit video entertainment. We'll break down exactly what happened in college football whenever we get back. It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Got him. The handle's touchy, right? After you hit the code. Put it right over here. I don't care. I'll eat on camera.
Welcome back to the program. I'm in St. Louis. Fans in Denver. Tyler's in Albuquerque. You are with us. We're very much enjoying this time together. Looks like the Ice Topes are going to be on a bit of a rain delay. So hang out with your boys as we are hanging out up until either the end of this program at 7 o'clock Mountain or the start of Ice Topes baseball, whichever does come first. Boys, NCAA football on the Xbox. That was the jam. It was the jam when I was a
No
kid.
doubt.
A lot of people claim it was the jam on the PlayStation. And you'll remember after Xbox Live or PlayStation Network or whatever that was, the first thing you would do whenever you got your copy of NCAA football is you would go to the Play Store and you would download someone's updated rosters that put every single player's name on there. Here's the thing. Not anymore. Because those updated rosters, they're made by users. They weren't made officially. It was just some nerding out, naming every player. It is now official. FBS football players will be able to be in any new college football game, but specifically the EA Sports one, as EA Sports and One Team have partnered to handle NIL rights for any FBS player who is eligible to be in EA Sports college football games. This is a big win for University Athlete, as they have been trying for decades to get into the games that have made so much money off their likeness.
Yeah, Sporting Gamer really misses NCAA football.
Yeah.
Like having your franchise or having your college program,
your dynasty, they say.
Your dynasty, there you go, and creating it from nothing and then going all the way to the top and getting the best recruits and developing the players. It was so much fun. I remember I had a graveyard job one summer in college, and all I did overnight, I only had like 2 hours responsibilities from a 6 to an 8 hour shift. And all I did for the 4 hours in the middle was play NCAA football over and over and over again until I was like 60 years in the future. And I've been undefeated for the last 54 years. And every single recruit I had was a 5-star blue chipper. Welcome back.
Pretty sweet. If a player does not want to be in the game, EA Sports will create a generic avatar and the player in that athlete's place, so that is fine. But there's going to be a lot of cool stuff for the 120 FBS schools. They're going to do like face scans and the whole thing to get all these players in. I don't know, super cool, man. I'm pumped. I'm always pro labor. Like I feel like so many of our conversations come back to like get in the bag, right? But for so long, college football athlete and collegiate athlete overall just wasn't able to reap at a time when other people were reaping a ton off of them. So,
Right.
it's not stated here what the payment process will be, if it's from EA Sports or if it's from this partnership. But it looks like these dudes are going to make out with a little bit of coin, and I love that. And obviously, if they wanted to opt out from the deal with One Team, they could also opt out on that. But you would assume that the one team, which already has partnerships with the NFLPA and the MLSPA and the United States Women's National Team Player Association, that they would be able to get this thing right away for these kids. So, yeah, big one for collegiate players. And if you're playing as your favorite team, you're playing with your favorite player now. And if you're like me, who grew up with kids who played D1 football, like, you get to play as your friends. It's like the coolest thing in the whole world.
With all these games being online now, you should be able to update previous teams. I don't know if they're going to have that technology out the gate, but you could import your old friends from your college and play with them.
Well, and I think that only matters though if there's coin in it, because like I said, the user base, like the Steam, like the Steam Workshop, we update that already exists. Like, you can day one of a download, you can get that. But now, as long as people are getting a little bit of cheddar off of it, like I'm super on that team.
And this is going to help not only the superstars, because, I mean, let's be honest, NIL is heavily weighted towards the superstars, to people with social media presences, and in the women's world, obviously, the better looking female athletes. It'll come around. It'll be more equitable in the future, I'm assuming. But this game is going to help the guys who might be that unknown interior linebacker at Florida A&M, who maybe they get $50 a month or whatever it is. It's going to be divided equally in between all these players, not just super top heavy for your quarterback and your wide receiver.
It's so funny whenever you make that point about the NIL stuff with appearances and stuff, because the League of Their Own a million years ago, and they're showing all the players, and they're like, and Marla Hooch. And it's just like the widest camera you could put on a human being. And they're like,
yes,
she still has value. And you're like, oh, like, why do you do Marla so dirty like that? That's just brutal. Hey, also actresses who get cast in scripts that say like ugly girl, or like what, like, way to go. Like, way to be a champion out there. Like, that's about as positive as you can get in this world. The talking about like the likeness and representation, let's use like a because this is always a conversation in Madden, right? Like, hey, what's your rating? Hey, what's your whatever? Is there a way, like, for college kid to like get done right by this? Or like, say you're like offensive lineman in Alabama, you want like the fattest little avatar possible, right? Like, if you're an offensive lineman, you want to be like a road grader. Like, I would be so mad if I went down there and I was like the second tier, a body frame or whatever. I'm like, no, like I gotta get bigger, so I'm bigger in my video game. Like, figure this thing out.
Stretch this out. How wide do these pixels go?
Right.
I don't want to look like The Rock. I don't want to look like The Rock.
Me and Nate Davis were hanging out one night, former quarterback of your Duke City Gladiators, and we're talking about, he was in Madden, right? Because he got drafted. He played for the 49ers, obviously, like had a career. And I'm like, hey, how'd you feel like your quarterback looked? Like, the way he was like, thought he was fat. Like, no, he wasn't fat. He was like a sturdy guy. Like, way to go down there. So, college football player, they're back on that level, Van. They they're gonna get paid for doing that thing, and you know how much money EA Sports makes. And I don't know if it'll be on the launch. You'd assume there'd be a perpetuity, because there's all this, like, you can spend more money in games now, right? Like packs. I bet that's gonna be a big part of it. Like getting like a gold card or a silver card. I don't really know how that world works, like, economy wise, but you know what I'm talking about. So I think that's going to be a big aspect of it, where maybe guys that are more higher sought are compensated in a way. But I'm super in. I hope everyone gets some. I hope UNM gets some. I hope New Mexico State gets some. I hope it rolls down the right way for everyone.
I mean, if you use anybody's image and likeness, they got to get at least a small chunk no matter what. But like you were saying, like, that's exactly how it's going to go, right? No matter what, your Alabamas, your Ohio States, your Floridas, like, these guys are going to become with the package. You buy them, you get whoever signed up for it, you get the name from the Big Ten and the SEC. But if you want
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. If you want the Sun West, if you want the Florida A&Ms of the world, then you got to upgrade to the X package, or whatever they're going to end up calling it. Because they can't just come out the gate and have, I mean, it's not like a 53-man roster in the NFL with only 32 teams. there are hundreds and hundreds of college football teams and then hundreds of players on each college football team. Are you think you're going to get everyone? You're going to get everyone right out the gate? There's no way.
I bet they will. I mean, you're talking about the
I'm
power
sorry.
of EA.
Okay.
They're going to go. There's only 120 schools. Like, this is not like you just go to them all. Like, you go, and the thing, maybe it's even like you just send like the scan thing or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Or maybe not everyone gets a scan. You know, maybe like you have to send an official photo or whatever to be represented like on the roster screen or whatever. But maybe not every player gets the head scan. But I bet you everyone's represented really well. But the guys that are in the packs or whatever, they're gonna have action shots. They're gonna have all that stuff produced. And like you were saying, maybe there's copies.
They'll do the ping pong ball thing where you put the ping pong balls on all your joints and they film you.
That stuff's super sweet. And you do the Heisman pose or whatever, and then, but you're talking about like the copies of the games, right? So you're gonna buy like a physical copy of the game. Are you gonna get one that's got like your favorite Ohio State player, your favorite Alabama player? It's the same game over and over again, but maybe that has something to do with how the dollars come out or whatever. Sure. And I'm sitting here, at least if you're watching on the Facebook live stream, I'm sitting here in a New Mexico Highlands shirt. We're D2. Dang it.
Yeah.
Like it's.
See, I mean, with the expansion pack, you can get the New Mexico Highlands package.
Oh, that'd be so sweet.
Or if you buy the special Lobo pack, the boys from 2 Men On, they can replace your favorite player. Plug and play Van and Fred.
If EA is like, Fred, do you want to do like the voice clips or whatever? When there's a big play or whatever, the the touchdown noises they make. I think I would be good at that. I think that'd be a sweet one. I'm into it. I got an update on the ice.
Put some respect on Rob Portnoy's name.
Well, yeah, I mean, he does very well. Also, I think it's Kirk Herbstreit or someone who does it.
They're asking him first.
I have here, are you ready for this? Update on the Isotopes, okay?
Okay.
Carp is off the field and is looking to be an on-time start for the Isotopes. So Mother Nature has decided less of 2 men on and more of baseball starting on time. So we will have updates on that at 6 o'clock whenever Josh Sushan joins us on this broadcast. When we get back to today's I-9 Varsity, the I-9 Varsity of of 2 men on producers.
Here we go.
R.I.P. Tyler. Also, I don't think
can we come back to Boys to Men's End of the Road?
It's got to be, right? Like, and because we've been through, and we never say goodbye on air. By the way, this is like a special thing for Tyler, like a fun moment.
Can you find a edited version of Thug Life's "Pour Out a Little Liquor"?
Is it a medley? Do you have time to mix up a medley? 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
we're gonna have an update at 6. But I think they just took the top off the field. The worst case scenario.
I mean, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes the computer just doesn't play on your last day of work when you're producing the show. And you ask for specific rejoin music, like Boys to Men, Into the Road. But it doesn't matter because you're one segment away from your final days of the program. And you're Tyler Lovely. And there's not a more fitting moment right now in the history of radio than this hard back because Tyler didn't preload the song on the production computer. And I'm certain if we check his last text sent, it was within the commercial break. What a special moment for us.
A little bit of a recency bias here.
Today's I-9 Varsity, League Office 280 at i9sports.com, 505-312-4999. You know that right now, youth soccer clinics are taking signups. Connect with I9 Sports, get your kid going. It's 1 day a week. Practice, playing the same day. It's about as good as it gets. Unlike Tyler, who is the worst. Today's I-9 Varsity, the I-9 Varsity of 2 men on producers. For fun, I'm going to start with an ABQ Central producer big thank you to Mike Vitale for all the time he gave us at the program. Mike
Mikey
Vitale,
boy.
he was at the top for us for so very long, and we wish him the best of endeavors wherever he is at. Who do you got, Van?
Okay, I'm going to cheat.
Yep.
And I'm also going to say our very first producer,
Yeah, good
Mike
answer.
Vitale.
Yeah, he was great.
People ask me about Mikey all the time. How he's doing. He's an absolute sports animal legend.
Mm-hmm.
So here's your flowers, Mikey. Thanks for being our first producer. You did fantastic. We wish you the best.
Super nice. Tyler, what bad idea do you have? Yeah, Griff's number one. Mm-hmm. Very good answers. Yeah, Griff definitely on the list. Steph Griff is a just an absolute world beater in the world of producing this program. I think our future producer, A. Marie Castillo, should be on the list. I think she's far better than Tyler has been, and she's never even done it. So give me A. Marie. I'm excited about bringing A. Marie in. That's going to be excellent. Going to add a lot of flavor and fun to the program.
You know what the first three people we mentioned never did? Miss the rejoin music immediately on their segment.
No, never.
Yeah.
The real
shout out to old Bobcat, next on my I-9 varsity of
answer.
producers, with his sage-like wisdom that he's spreading to this next upcoming group of producers.
I agree completely with
Bobcat.
that. You going with Griff, Tyler? Is that your answer?
Also Griff.
Okay, got it. It's Robert Gibson, boys. He was tremendous for all the years he was with us, and then obviously has moved on to other things. But Robert Gibson, just absolute standout dude at the very top. Also, I have produced before. I was as bad as Tyler, so definitely not me. Van has produced before. He was worse than me, and I was the worst.
I'm batting 1,000 in my one day.
There we go. Heck of a program. Josh Sushan joins us. When we get back from the break, we're going to talk about the is there not a rain delay. Also, I'm going to bring up to him this Oakland Athletics crowd because it ain't around. It ain't around
Sad.
at all. 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
They come back, Josh. They always do. Come clawing back, right back to us at the sports animal. A beautiful unintended consequence of the rain, and thank goodness we didn't have a delay. But that Albuquerque evening sundown weather with a little bit of moisture in the air, there's nothing like it, right? Yeah. Josh, June 15th, 2005. For the first time in each other's careers, Rich Hill pitched against Miguel Cabrera. They faced each other today, almost 18 years later. What's your most, oh my God, I'm old baseball moment? Because this might be mine right now. Josh, one of the biggest prospects in baseball, number one on a lot of people's prospect rankings, Francisco Alvarez, switched his agent from Scott Boris to Bad Bunny. Two-part question here. Do you know who Bad Bunny is? And how crazy is this? How big of an insult is that to Scott Boris and the Boris Company? That's the answer. How dare you? I'm hitting him with the slider. I can't even read mine. Mm. Too much for the time allotted, my friend. But anything we didn't cover, make sure you check out tomorrow morning on the opening drive with Jeff, JJ, and A. Marie. Bye, Tyler. I pulled it off.